Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Paul Diz is a bit frazzled.
Well, Keynote keeps changing their presenting to me, and it annoys me because I can't. Anyway, never mind.
That presents were good.
Liz gets
Depends if
special
you get
versions of
socks
Keynote that nobody
or
else
a
gets.
new PlayStation.
She gets presents like cats leave presents.
Yeah. Hi, UH Blackhawk, and hi, iHall Boxes. I don't know. I said hi to everybody else. Hi, Tanya. I don't know if I said hi to you.
Did you say hi to Mr. Michael Kuipers?
I did. And I did
Okay,
to
good.
Mr. Van Ram and to
I see
Mr.
that.
Ken Hayes and
I'm seeing all
new
and
that.
Mr.
listener,
Sam
Timpa.
Bolog. And yeah, I think
Yeah, we have a new listener there, Timpa28.
Tim
that's
Timpa.
All right.
Is that the same guy as Tokyo Tim?
Yeah. Except now today he's Silicon Valley Tim, apparently. That's what he tells us anyway. Okay. That's what I always tell
Take
you
a
to
deep
do.
breath. It's okay. We recovered.
Somebody should call Neville. Why is that?
Oh, I meant to ask Liz
Yes, Jeff.
before we started the recording, but it doesn't matter because we're among friends.
Yes, Jeff.
The first video that I have is this one, and you said from Stefan. Did he actually create this animation, or did
No,
he find it?
he
from
found
somewhere?
it somewhere.
Okay.
He found that.
I was going to say I'm impressed with his animation
Well, I don't
skills.
think he did. I believe he said there might be better. I don't know. I don't think he did. I believe he found it somewhere.
Is that
Okay.
Stefan Wolf?
Yeah, Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stefan's, but you know, it'd be cool if does he have a dog? I would call it Stefan Wolf.
No, call it Stefan's Wolf.
Stefan's Wolf.
Oh, yeah. In German.
Okay.
All righty.
Yes.
My
Tim?
dog has no nose. How
I
does
miss
he
something?
smell? Awful.
Ground control to Major Jeff. Oh, you're just playing
Ground
around.
control
Okay, I gotcha.
to Major Jeff.
Okay.
Now, who is this person? Should I know who this is? At Sure 1957.
Oh yeah, sure. You should.
Okay.
Sure, 1957. Maybe somebody that was born the year before me.
I feel like it's somebody that usually uses another ID or something. I don't know.
Who
let
are
us
you?
let us know who are you?
Yes.
And I'm sorry
Reveal
if
your identity.
I'm sorry if I should know who you are. Oh,
Andy
Andy.
H.
Oh, Andy from from
H.
That other place.
from PTUK.
From H.
Andy that flies the 730.
Or is
that
this
does-
Andy Harris?
Oh, okay, Andy Harris.
Oh,
Okay,
Captain Andy.
Maybe.
Andy Harris
Andy
from
Harris.
Cincinnati.
Yes.
You're
Bing,
right.
ding, 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 ding.
All right,
Here we go.
And
Sorry,
the point
your,
goes to Jeff.
your IDs are just a little obscure there, Andy. We just didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know that he's not older than I am. He's definitely younger than I am. So I don't know what the 1957 means. Maybe he can tell us. Okay. So we talked about that. We're not going to do any coffee fund.
Nope.
And you said, Liz, that the Radio Roger clip
Sounded
sounds
good.
good as
Yep.
far as volume is concerned.
Do you want to just test Unity with AJ? Do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, good. He's there.
Did you see our readout there on your little thing that you're usually checking our readouts on Unity, Jeff?
No, but I'm glad you said it because I haven't started the recording on that yet.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. I'm going to tell Tim.
I mean, did Tim ask?
No,
It's his fault.
but I was just about to ask. No, I wasn't.
Okay, go ahead and do the Unity. Yep. Okay, I can hear you there. Thank you, and I see the signal. Yay!
And all your other recorders are going now, right? Yep. Mhm.
I have 2 recorders on locally, and then I think that StreamYard is recording, right?
Yeah, it looks like it is.
Okay.
Go on
Cool.
then, U-Hawk, Black Hawk. I'll bite. Why should
It's
he call
U-Haul
his
Black
dog
Top-
Magic
Black Hawk.
Carpet?
Steppenwolf song, Magic Carpet Ride.
Magic car. Yeah, I know that song.
All right.
All right, I'm ready, Jeffy. Ready when you
Okay.
are.
I think that I might be too. Let me go over here to this and click on this.
You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
WAPG. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Airline Pilot Guy, episode 701.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Hello, you're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. The view from our side of the cockpit door with your host, Captain Jeff, broadcasting live from APG headquarters in Roswell, Georgia. Today's show is recorded the week of March 23rd, 2026.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy. Picture right and he's flying by. With the Airline Pilot Guy.
In today's episode, 2 pilots die when their Air Canada Express flight hits a fire truck on the runway while landing at LaGuardia. An ATC warning coming too late.
Stop, truck on, stop. Delta 2603, go around.
And with the controller acknowledging an error.
I messed up.
No, man, you did the best you could.
Also ahead, more news and your feedback. So get all settled in. Tray tables and seat backs in the upright and locked positions. Electronic devices powered on. I'm Radio Roger. Flight 701 is ready for pushback.
Thank you, Radio Roger. He's an award-winning TV and radio reporter, currently at the #1 all-news station in the nation, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM in
New York City.
Welcome to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. It's an aviation podcast covering the latest in aviation news and answering your great feedback. I'm Captain Jeff, a former U.S. Air Force pilot and retired Delta Airlines captain. And we have joining us from his Garden View studio,
in Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire.
a retired professional dog picture taker, former RAF, RAAF fighter pilot, retired Airbus A330, A340 captain for Virgin Atlantic Airways. It's Captain Nick.
Hello there, Jeff. And into the 700s we go. This is brilliant. 701. The CH-701 is a single-engine, 2-seat, short takeoff and landing kit aircraft produced by the American firm Zenith Aircraft Company. So that's ZAC, I suppose. The CH-701 is capable of flying in and out of small, unimproved airfields in a variety of environments, it says. So I'm assuming they mean in day and night, wet and dry. I can't think of many other environments. And it's
what about dust?
Dust. Oh, I don't know. Is that an environment? I don't know. Just
It-
an
it's
annoyance.
It is in my
Incredibly
house.
capable aircraft, but one of the ugliest airplanes ever made.
Well, it is funny, yeah. I agree. It has an all-metal construction, so you can, it says here, store it outside in the elements so it won't melt, apparently. It's powered by a liquid-cooled 4-cylinder Rotax engine that delivers a whole 80 horsepower, but it only weighs 580 pounds empty. Which means it can take off in as little as 90 feet. Now, like what I love about this aircraft, apart from the rather neat tricycle undercarriage, which is always easier, the amazing lift devices on the wings. So he's got full span, slats, and flaps by the looks of it. Or that can deploy, and obviously gives them a lot of lift for slow speed flight. So very impressive, and it's a neat. I think it's quite a neat looking airplane. Although you're right, the front end is quite ugly, and there's a turbine powered one as well, which has an even weirder nose.
Probably
Needs a
lot
nose
longer.
job.
Yeah.
I like it because I like yellow.
Too bad we don't have another side shot because the way the back comes up is very odd.
Yeah, it's got rather deep fuselage at
Janky.
the back, isn't it?
Not
There you go,
janky, just like they used the wrong ruler.
Yeah. Long protractor.
They used the metric and not the imperial.
They used the wrong side of the
vice
ruler.
versa.
That's the right
Yeah.
ruler.
Hey, Jack, get the right ruler next time. Yeah, they'll never notice.
You flown one of these, AJ?
I have not. I've seen them at several of the stall competitions at some of the events that I've been to, and they're incredibly impressive performance-wise, but just not aesthetically pleasing.
Not a looker.
Well,
But there are a lot of ugly ones like that.
okay.
Sorry.
How about now?
Oh, no, I thought my timing was impeccable, but apparently not.
Almost.
So you heard that voice discussing the merits and not so
Demerits?
merit of that airplane that Captain Nick just described. What is that thing called?
Zenith.
Zenith.
It's CH-701.
Zenith here in the south.
Or Zenith.
Built by Zenith.
We say Zenith here. Anyway, you hear that music. That means that from the Northwoods of the Atlanta suburbs, a race car driver, self-taught chef, and a commercial multi-engine instrument-rated pilot with an interest in anything with enough horsepower to kill him. It's Alpha Juliet.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Good to see you guys.
Glad to have you here with us. And also with us from her studio in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, retired financier and aviation enthusiast, spreadsheet master, and our producer, it's the lovely Liz Piper.
Here I am. Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Indeed.
All right.
Well, have a good show, guys.
Hope so.
Thanks, Liz.
Bye.
We'll see you. Let's do some news.
Stand by for news.
All right, we're going to start off with, well, what everybody is expecting us to talk about, which is something, a significant accident occurred Sunday evening at 11:37 p.m., or 23:37, we'd like to say, at LaGuardia Airport in New York City. And let's start off by listening. Well, let's see. Let's start off by reading something here from the Aviation Herald. A Jazz Canadair CRJ 900 registration, Charlie Golf November Juliet Zulu, performing flight 8646 from Montreal, Canada, to New York, LaGuardia, New York, with 72 passengers and 4 crew, was cleared to land on runway 4. At the same time, there was another incident occurring, and a United aircraft had declared an emergency due to an odor on board after, I think, 2 rejected takeoffs. And so there's this kind of thing going on with the airplane declaring the emergency, the United flight, and the air traffic control, the guys up in the tower. And so he requested a fire truck to come and assist, and they were trying to figure out how to get either whether to go to a gate or to get some air stairs, but there were no gates available. So there was a lot of confusion, a lot of distraction. And in the meantime, the CRJ had been cleared to land, as we mentioned just a bit ago. And so kind of out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. And then the controller asks if somebody was asking for clearance. And, well, you know what? I think it'd be best to just play some video, and we can actually hear the communications, and then we can talk a little bit more about it. What do you think? All right. Okay. Thank you, Liz. And I'm going to try to find my keynote control. Here we go.
2603, stand by. Who's the vehicle needed to cross the runway?
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower.
Truck 1 and Company.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195, just stop there, please. Stop, Truck 1, stop. Stop, Truck 1, stop. Stop, Truck 1, stop. Delta 2603, go around, runway heading 2000. Jet 646. Jet 646, I see you collide with a vehicle here, just hold position. I know you can't move. The vehicles are responding to you now.
Is the runway closed?
Delta 2603, go around, runway heading 2000.
Heading 2000, go around, Delta 2603.
The tower.
Truck 32, runway 4 is closed, correct?
Yes, go on to runway 4 now. Proceed on runway 4, you have access.
Tower, car 90, runway 422 is closed at this time.
90, roger.
LaGuardia Tower, vehicle 98.
98. 98. Vehicle 98.
Vehicle 98, please show at this time. Runway 422 is closed. I repeat, runway 422 is closed at this time.
Tower, car 90, LaGuardia Airport is closed at this time.
So 2603, runway 3000, go to approach 20.8 now.
3000, over.
South 3988, cross.
Okay. So you heard the chaos there and a lot going on there. This is, at the time, only 2 controllers in the tower cab, a local controller and I think a controller supervisor.
Actually, I think it's only 2 controllers in the building, meaning one was on break and one was running both frequencies. That's why you heard him repeating things and it sounded a little different, is because he's trying to say it on ground and on tower and figure out who's on what frequency.
But I also heard another voice as well, which was distinctly a different voice, not in those transmissions, but from some other radio transmissions. And I could have, I was listening to a couple of the NTSB briefings, and they said that there were actually 2 physical controllers in the cab at the time, but I could be wrong about that. But I think
one of them was on break, and when everything happened, he came and jumped in.
Oh,
but
I see.
He wasn't on position when it happened.
Okay, so it was just the one guy on position when all this happened?
Yep.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes, that's my understanding.
Okay, so we have a breakdown of or a timeline from the time before the impact and the end of the recording on the cockpit voice recorder in the CRJ, operated by Jazz, but the Air Canada Express regional jet. At 3 minutes and 7 seconds prior to impact, the approach controller instructs the aircraft to contact LaGuardia Tower. Okay, so they make the handover there. And the next thing that happens on the cockpit voice recorder is the flight crew lowers landing gear. Flight crew checks in with LaGuardia Tower at 2:22, so 2 minutes and 22 seconds before the impact. Tower clears the aircraft to land, advises that they're number 2 for landing, so there's an aircraft ahead that has either landed or is about to land. Flight crew then sets flaps to 30 at 1:52. At 1:33, flight crew sets flaps 45 at 1:26 before impact. Electronic 1000 call out from the enhanced ground proximity warning system. So that's the radio altimeter pointing straight down, telling the crew exactly how high they are above the ground at that point that they're flying over. That's usually the key for us in the airlines and maybe professional business aviation as well, that you should be stabilized. You should have the airplane completely configured for landing and the landing checklist complete. At 1,000 feet, of course, the crew of the Jazz says, confirmed landing checklist is complete. Okay, so that's 1 minute and 12 seconds before impact. At 1 minute, 3 seconds before, airport vehicle made a transmission to tower that the tower's transmission was stepped on. Who stepped on it has not been identified. And just to be clear for those of you who might be new, when we say that a radio transmission has been stepped on, that means that more than one person is transmitting simultaneously, and sometimes that works to make almost like a what would you call that sound? Like a beeping sound or a
feedback sound,
kind of. Yeah, just a squeal usually.
Yeah. Inaudible, yeah. And sometimes you can kind of make out a little bit of, like, depending on the strength of the transmitters, sometimes you can actually hear a little bit of one of them, but usually it's completely just blocked out. So somebody's stepped on it. The flight crew acknowledged the 500 feet above ground level, the 500 AGL that the Enhanced Ground Proximity Warning System enunciates inside the cockpit of the CRJ 900, and that's 54 seconds before touchdown. At 40 seconds before, the LaGuardia Tower asked which vehicle needs to cross a runway. And then Truck 1, the Aircraft Rescue and Firefighting, or ARF vehicle, the lead vehicle, says at 28 seconds before impact, Truck 1 made a radio transmission to the tower. And then tower acknowledged, that's not actually what he said. That's when Truck 1 made his transmission to the tower. The tower acknowledges Truck 1's transmission at 26 seconds before. Tower clears the Truck 1 and company. That means all the other vehicles behind the lead fire truck to cross runway 4 at taxiway Delta. Again, that's 20 seconds before the impact. So apparently we have now forgotten, the tower controller has forgotten that there is somebody on short final below 500 feet. In fact, 1 second after he cleared the fire truck and company to cross the runway, 1 second later, inside the cockpit of the RJ is the 100-foot call out from the GPWS. At 17 seconds before, Truck 1 reads back the runway crossing clearance. Okay, so a lot of things are happening inside the jet. They're getting close to touchdown. They're focusing on the flare and all that. And I guess not really cognizant of the fact that somebody has just been cleared to cross their runway. Then 15 seconds before impact, 50 called out from the GPWS, and then 30 called out at 12 seconds. Also, right about that same time, the tower instructs a Frontier Airlines flight to hold position. And then we hear at 11 seconds, electronic 20 call out from GPWS. And then 10 seconds, electronic 10 call out from GPWS. 9 seconds, tower instructs Truck 1 to stop. 8 seconds, a sound consistent with the aircraft's landing gear touching down on the runway. 6 seconds, pilot transfer of controls, FO to captain. And I'm going to say what I think about that after I finish reading this. 4 seconds before impact, the tower again instructs Truck 1 to stop, and then boom, 0, end of recording. And what I want to say about the transfer of control at 6 seconds before impact, only 2 seconds after you hear on the cockpit voice recorder the sounds of the tires touching down, a transfer of control from the first officer to the captain, that's not normal. Usually because the FO, the first officer, is the pilot flying at this time. Usually the transfer of control is made a little bit further into the actual landing rollout. And usually when the airplane has slowed a little bit, the first officer has probably already applied braking, etc., depending on the length of the runway and everything else. But to me, I don't know if you guys agree with me, that just 2 seconds after the wheels touch down, the captain is getting control of the airplane from the FO, kind of indicates to me that that's the point at which maybe the captain sees that there's something wrong, something not right about what he is seeing in front of him. I could be wrong about that, but that's just speculation on my part.
I'd be curious to hear how that transfer of controls was initiated. Was that the captain saying, my controls? Or was that the first officer saying, hey, take the airplane?
Yeah, you got it, or something. I don't know. That's true. That in that list of actions and things happening in the cockpit, I don't think that they have been quoted word for word what is being said. They're just kind of... Okay. Yes. NTSB Chairwoman Jennifer Homendy has said that they hope to have, I think by today, the transcript of the actual transcript of what the pilot said on the cockpit voice recorder available. So maybe we'll be able to revisit that on the next episode. But yeah, I don't know about you guys, but the way the communications occurred and him telling the tower local controller, the tower controller saying to the Frontier jet, stop right there, and then almost without even braking and without even like in the same sentence, saying stop, stop, truck one, stop, 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 like just a stream of stop, and just like a very tiny little bit of truck one, and not even an emphasis on truck one. It's just like Frontier flight. It sounds like that whole transmission was made for the Frontier flight to stop and hold their position. And I could see that perhaps that the tower, the ARFF vehicle, the truck number one, assuming that that transmission is not for them, because of the fact that there was really no brake, there was no emphasis on truck one, and again, it could be that at that point it was a moot point, that there was. You know what, there
was some other audio that I heard that was from truck one and the tower, their conversation that was missing from that video there. That
I think I might have it. I have another video here, AJ. You
okay,
want me to
is that the one where he
see?
asks, "Are you calling on ground or tower?"
Yes.
So there was some confusion in that ARF vehicle as to whether or not what frequency who they were on. So I kind of wonder if they had maybe switched back to ground or something somehow inadvertently or on purpose.
Yeah, I'm not clear about were all these transmissions made on tower frequency or a combination of tower and ground?
Based on this cockpit voice recorder timeline, one would assume these are all on tower because they're on the cockpit voice recorder in the airplane.
Coming into the cockpit voice recorder of the
Correct.
airplane. So that,
So they heard the tower clear truck one to cross runway 4 when they were somewhere between 100 feet or just above 100 feet.
Yeah.
That
they probably
there's an SA issue there.
They probably heard it, as you say, but maybe they didn't mentally digest or process it. Or it could be also that factor that Liz is mentioning that I mentioned, that it could have been interpreted as, well, I know we're talking about the pilots at this point, so or maybe the pilots thought that stop was meant for only the Frontier jet. I don't know, but there's a lot of confusion in the communications at the point. Let's listen to this. If you'll put that on the, thank you. All right, so we're going to listen to, this is, I think, what you were talking about, AJ.
Truck 1 and company crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Go 2603, go around, runway heading 2000.
Okay. That's what you were talking about, right, AJ?
No, it was before that. When they called up initially to ask to cross the runway, there was a call up, and then you heard the tower respond, but I think he responded on ground, didn't get a response, and then called back up on tower and said, Truck 1, are you calling me on ground or tower? Yeah. And that's when Truck 1 responded on tower.
Yeah. And let me see if I had actually prepared that one. I don't think that I did, but I could always do that right now, and then we could play it. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. So we'll just kind of do a technical pause right here. Only the people watching the video will know that we've done something a little bit different here. So let me...
You lucky few.
Yes. You can take that off the... unshare that or whatever, and I will stop my screen sharing. I'll go over here to the VAS Aviation video and copy that. I'll go to this app that I use for downloading video from YouTube. And if you're listening to YouTube, no, I don't use any kind of a program that downloads the video from your service. Honest. Okay, and I need to go like that, and I need to add one more. And I need to go over here to this folder and find that. And now I need to hit play, and let's see, I'll share my video again. Share screen, window, Jeff Media, share, And then add to stage. Okay, thank you. And then let me hit this button. There we go. Well, this might actually have a little bit more of the complete communications. This is from Bass Aviation on the 22nd of March. Air Canada CRJ 900LR coming in for landing.
Ground Unit 2384 is declaring an emergency. The flight attendants in the back are feeling ill. Because of the odor, we will need to go into any available gate at this time.
Okay, roger that.
Probably should have played this first.
Hey, this is Ed again. Do you guys have any gate for United? Because now he's declaring an emergency. They want to get out.
That's the landline, not being transmitted.
Yeah.
Let me ask him. I'll call you right back.
Okay, roger that. Hey, it's Ed again, LaGuardia Tower. Now that United says he needs a gate, but so now he's declaring an emergency. But the ramp doesn't have a gate for him. Yeah, they're now.
We can get a stair truck if you need them to get off the plane.
Okay, yeah, do that just in case they want to come off. But so now he's on taxiway Alpha, just east of taxiway Kilo. All right, thanks, man. All right, bye-bye.
Yep, thanks.
Okay, that's intercommunications.
Yeah, 2384. The ramp doesn't have a gate for you yet, but I'm trying to get in touch with the Port Authority to see if they have something.
That's ground frequency.
And the fire trucks are over there. They're going to bring a stair truck just in case you guys do want to evacuate. Let me know if you do.
Copy. Yeah, we'd prefer to wait on a gate, but I mean, again, we only got so much time here because there's still a bit of an odor in the back of the airplane.
Okay.
Jet 646, yep. Delta 520, you're going to lane 8. Just hold short of Lima on runway 13 and just verify with the ramp that you'll be able to get in.
Okay, hold short of Lima on runway 13, and we'll talk to ramp, get back to you, Delta 520.
Thank you. I'm just verifying there's some shuffling of gates going on here due to an inbound that has an issue.
Roger.
Jet 646, LaGuardia.
No, it's you for Gialis, 4 for Jet 646.
646, number 2, clear to lane 4.
Clear to land number 2 for Jet 646.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, 2384, do you have a gate available at this time? Otherwise, we will be probably requesting air stairs.
Give me 1 second.
2384.
Stand by, United. Who's the vehicle needed to cross the runway? Emergency vehicles calling on ground, or are you calling on tower?
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower.
Truck 1 and Company.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195, just stop there, please. Stop, Truck 1, stop.
Yeah, 2384 is cleared in lane 8 for 41.
2384, proceed to ramp.
Proceed in.
Sorry, Truck 1. Stop, Truck 1. Stop. Stop, Truck 1. Stop.
4195, we're staying here.
Delta 2603, go around. Runway heading 2000. Jet 646. Jet 646, I see you collide with a vehicle here. Just hold position. I know you can't move. The vehicles are responding to you now.
Is the runway closed?
Delta 2603, go around. Runway heading 2000.
Heading 2000, go around, Delta 20.
Okay, we heard the rest of that on the other recording.
That's that moment I was talking about where you hear the difference in tone, but it's the same person on ground and on tower.
Yeah, it's the same. He's transmitting on both frequencies. He probably got the initial call up from the truck, our vehicle on ground, and then he asked, "Are you on ground or tower?" And then then we actually hear the ARFF vehicle on tower frequency. So that means that the Jazz guys should have heard them as well, and they should have heard them cleared to cross runway 4 at Delta when they were only 200 feet or less above the ground.
Yeah, that should have really made the hackles on the back of their neck rise. There are 3 units involved here, 3 speaking units, any of which could have stopped this incident. Everyone's, of course, leaping on the controller, and as the NTSB lady very eloquently said there's a lot more involved than just a simple error in giving a clearance that shouldn't have been given. And there's lots of factors that will play into why he gave that clearance, and we're going to find out a lot more. But I mean, the fire truck himself, he shouldn't cross without visually confirming the runway is actually clear. And we all know that, there must be thousands of pilots listening to this who've gone, oh God, yeah, I remember being cleared to do something, and I spotted an aircraft or a helicopter or something in the way, and I had to take action to prevent an incident. And so, there we got the tower controller and the aircraft involved. Plus, of course, the fire truck, he was the only one that went onto the runway. No one else followed him. Is that because they all saw the aircraft? They would, certainly the next in line. He was he aware of what's going on? How many transmissions were made to truck one to try and get him to stop?
Or had they switched frequencies?
Can I just change tack slightly and go on about technology that we use nowadays in aviation, and say that there's criticism that the controller isn't given the best information because the truck, particularly the lead truck, didn't have a transponder. So the ground radar, they're working off raw radar, and that's not very accurate. And a transponder should really be essential on ground vehicles because it enables them to clearly see where he is, and he might have spotted that he had crossed on, or if they had an automatic system to warn them, that might have triggered at the point he went on. But more importantly, the radios we use in aviation are the same technology that Marconi used. We're going back right to the dawn of radio communications. We have an amplitude modulated VHF set in every aircraft. That's what it is. And the reason we're not even FM, frequency modulated, which is what everyone who wants to listen to their music on the radio listens to because it's high fidelity. FM is frequency modulated. The reason that we have AM radios is so that a powerful transmitter, because it's AM, can still be heard by people when someone else transmits at the same time in a less powerful radio, and that's actually a safety factor. But it does mean we've got about the most basic form of radio communication there is around, AM VHF radios. And if you just look at your phone now and go, oh, I wonder what the technology is for communicating in the phone that everybody has in their damn pockets. Well, it's a digital transmitting and receiving device, and it's full duplex. Oh, it's certainly duplex. I'm not quite sure how much of duplex, but duplex means that you transmit and receive on different frequencies. So you've always got your receiver open to hear what's coming in, and you can also transmit at the same time. So the only thing that's going to prevent you hearing it is the noise of a transmission coming through the loudspeakers might overplay it. But we could have gone in aviation very easily onto digital and either UHF or microwave frequencies where we can digitize the voice and split our frequencies up into, if you've got microwave, you might have 100 different channels, which means you can give the controller a big fat channel which overrides everybody else, and when he decides that he wants to transmit, he can press a button and his voice will come out of every radio set. And you can give a priority in all the channels, all on the same frequency, that goes down in priority. So aircraft will have priority over, say, the garbage truck. Won't necessarily have priority over the fire trucks, but you see what I mean. There's a pecking order. Now, this technology exists and has existed for a considerable length of time, but we are effectively in these airliners still using radios that are, work on Stone Age technology. So, I think it's real time that we set standards. We've got it in so many other aspects of our profession, but radio technology is something that needs to catch up with what is available and what can be clearly bought and mass produced so that every damn person in the world can have a phone in their pocket that uses great digital communication technology. But we can't seem to manage to get it together for our aircraft.
I have a question regarding, that's a beautiful explanation of...
I'm hearing
yeah, I hear.
Are you hearing the rest of us?
I'm not hearing anybody. What's that?
Oh, boy.
We can hear you, Nick.
Yeah, for some reason he can't.
What's going on?
hear
Anyone
us.
know?
No.
Presumably you're hearing me.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not hearing.
It's something, he's using that AM thing and not the FM. He's using attenuation modulation and not... is that right? That's what the A stands for?
I'm not muted. I'll turn my interface on and off.
One side comment to that really quickly is we actually do use FM radios in the Civil Air Patrol airplanes, but it is strictly for communication with ground teams. And as he's talking about duplex communication,
amplitude. Okay, thank you, Peter.
We transmit on one frequency and receive on a different frequency, and that allows us to use repeaters. So we can be over Cartersville and talking to someone in Gainesville on the radio on the ground because of a repeater that's taking that received signal in and transmitting it out to the next, that distance. So it's kind of daisy chained, if that makes some sort of sense.
Yeah. While Nick is trying to figure out his audio issue, which is kind of ironic, the question I was going to have for Nick, and I don't know, maybe you know the answer to this, Alpha Juliet. He talked about the multiple channels, especially if it's microwave and digital modulation, and having the air traffic controller having the fat pipe that overrides everybody else, and then like you can prioritize the different channels within that one frequency. What happens if two airplanes that have like equal authority or priority? I mean, what happens? Do both of those transmissions go out and everybody hears both of them simultaneously, or does? In other words, what I'm trying to gather is, do they just block each other out, or do they?
I don't know. So we had a similar setup with our racing radios for the track, for the actual race staff that were working the race. So we had stewards in the tower that were talking to emergency services and corner workers, flaggers that are on the track, and we had a digital. Hey.
Oh, okay. Well, you're not on your PR40.
Okay.
Okay.
But we had the ability as stewards in the tower controlling the race, we could overpower another flag station. If two flag stations were talking at the same time and we spoke in the tower, that overpowered everybody else. So all the other flag stations heard us. I don't know. Nick would have to speak to the two equal parties and what would happen in that digital realm. I don't know if it would just cancel each other out, or if you might hear both.
Yeah. Do you hear that question, Nick?
Yeah, I was chatting to our friendly spacecraft engineer, Matt, and specifically about how do you fix these comms if people are talking.
Oh.
Now your internet is
great.
Messing up.
The day for technology.
Yeah, it is great. I love the audio technology. It is fantastic, and this is what he taught me through. How this technology it exists. Everyone's got it in some devices, but we don't have it in aircraft. And he was explaining to me how it might work. And he said once you go up in the frequencies, and you can microwave would be ideal for a tower, because you don't need huge range, 25, 30 miles, and that's a microwave can easily do that. But on a single microwave frequency, because you've got digital communications, you can separate those into, he said, easily 100 channels. So that means within that frequency, one frequency, you could have 100 different users. And they wouldn't necessarily overlap each other, but they could if you wanted them to.
Okay, we had the question that I had that you didn't hear, and was that, we understand the prioritization of the different channels. I think he just doesn't want to hear me.
It's awfully convenient. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Peter Tarantelli in our live audience says, was that a collision alert in the tower? I'm not absolutely certain, but it sounded to me like an emergency ELT, an emergency locator transmitter, signal going out on their speakers, which is going out on the guard frequency, which is on the speakers, right, in the cab. And so anytime we make a transmission on guard, or our ELT is transmitting that emergency beacon, it's going to come out over their speakers. And I think that that's what you hear in the background, because it occurred immediately after the impact. And that ELT device is usually located in the cockpit, and if they only have one, or usually they have multiple ELTs, but there's always one. It seems that all the airplanes that I've flown have been located in the cockpit area. So that was the area that just got obliterated, and I'm sure that was what was making that signal in the background.
Most of those are a G switch. So once it reaches a certain acceleration level, that's what sets off that ELT. So there's old jokes about check your ELT after you had that hard landing, because it might be going off. So your ELT, your airplane's parked in the hangar, but the ELT is going off because you landed hard enough to trigger that ELT to start transmitting.
Yeah. UH Blackhawk in our live audience says, truck was angled away from the runway. The driver probably couldn't see. Yeah, I agree with you. It was more than 90 degrees. It was probably like a 110, 120 degree angle.
Honestly,
heading.
Even those trucks are wide enough that even if it was perfectly 90 degrees, that driver
still
could not see out the right side of the vehicle.
Right. And so it'd have to be the person sitting on the right side, the co-pilot of the fire truck.
Co-driver even.
Or co-driver, or whatever you want to call it. It seems to me that it would have been his or her responsibility to be looking and clearing the runway for traffic. What was happening at that time? Was he distracted? Was something else going on? I mean, the weather conditions weren't perfect. It was dark. It was drizzly. There are a lot of lights and everything. It's hard sometimes to.
You've got similar things in that truck happening as well with radios, because they're talking to their base. They're talking, just like you have ACARs and company frequencies in the airplane.
Right.
They've got their dispatch that they're talking to say, hey, this is what we're doing. And so they both could be talking on two different radios and both be distracted by multiple things, much less where's the truck actually driving, which is, of course, the wrong priority, but it is the situation.
But we're humans, and we're easily distracted. Some of us more easily than others. Like, I'll raise my hand on that one.
What? I forgot what we're talking about.
Let's see what are we talking? Where am I? Here's a slide that Liz is presenting, or actually Captain Nick provided this, and Liz is popping it up in our video, and we're going to have all this in our show notes. Just a reminder, there's always a link on each of these shows with all the different links to and pics of graphics and stuff like that we're showing. If you want to, watch along with us as you're listening. And we're looking at the CRJ 700/900 external lighting. So basically the ones that would be The ones that you would see are the forward-facing ones, the landing lights and the taxi lights. Now, taxi lights usually are like also double as, or the landing lights double as taxi lights. In other words, usually those two inner ones probably are the same lights, and maybe when you have selected taxi lights with lower intensity than the landing lights.
It's not necessarily a lower intensity. It's also an aim point.
Or
So
the
you could
angle
have
of or the aim point of the lights.
And some of them have a different diffusion pattern as well. Some are a focused spot beam, and some are a more diffuse floodlight beam. So like a taxi light, you're going to use a more diffuse to get a wider area closer in. So that's your flood pattern. The spotlight beam is more focused, goes out farther, landing, right? So you're going to be farther from the runway.
And I have to say that in my experience of 35 years flying for the airlines and 7 in the Air Force, that when you are flying at night and you're looking at, even with an airplane coming down the runway with their landing lights on, you would think that would just be overwhelmingly bright and there's no way that you could mistake it for anything else. Well, not really.
Incredibly difficult to see.
Yeah, it is. It's very difficult.
3 more white dots in a field of white dots.
Yeah. Now, also, UH Blackhawk is making another good point that I wanted to talk about. And these are all factors, mitigating factors, I think, that are for why this all, I mean, as we said at the very beginning, it's very rarely only one thing that you can point to that is the cause of the accident. There may be one thing that was most important of all of them, but it is the Funyuns, the Funyuns lining up. Some big Funyuns and some little Funyuns. And maybe one of the little Funyuns, or maybe medium size, would be this. UH Blackhawk says, also, the taxiway has stop bars independent of air traffic control. Were they working? We can't really tell in the video that we've been watching if the red stop bars that, as you mentioned, are autonomous. A human is not activating the red stop bars. It's a system that senses when an airplane is in a position that would be dangerous if you crossed over that red stop bar light, regardless of what the tower says. So if the tower, and this goes for vehicles and it goes for airplanes, if the tower controller clears you to cross a runway or whatever, and you see a red stop bar, you absolutely do not cross that stop bar. You don't. It's just not, you can't do it. It's not allowed. Was the stop bar working? I don't know. I'm sure that will be part of their investigation to determine that. So that's another factor involved there. But wow, a lot of things that they're going to be looking at here. Yeah, AJ.
Yeah, I was just going to say there's so many systems and devices and technologies put in place to prevent exactly this. That this is one of those situations where the dominoes just fell.
Yep. Yeah. And it's like all these major accidents, there's always something that is happening that is not normal before the actual tragic event. And in this case, that United flight with their problems, which definitely sounded like a very legitimate and serious problem they were having, but all the focus seemed to be on that and the response of the ARFF vehicles to take care of that problem, and that just led distraction and forgetting about what's actually happening on that runway 4 there and the airplane on short final. And yeah, Captain Nick, are you back? Can you hear us, sir?
Yes, I can. Sorry about that.
Oh, and he sounds good too.
Reset everything.
Okay. Well, glad you were back. So I'm sure that we're going to be discussing this quite a bit in the next several episodes as the investigation continues. Here's an interesting slide that Liz is putting up, and it is showing, the Air Canada or the CRJ 900 without being affected by a high-speed impact. And then, of course, the one below is the actual accident aircraft and how far back the crumpled metal goes, from the back of or at the leading edge of that right-hand R1 door on the right side there is where. So basically, the entire cockpit, along with
and
all the contents
first two windows.
and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, along that bottom
Well, I don't
edge.
know. I'm seeing. Looks like I see the door open there in that.
Yeah, I'm saying along that bottom edge as the
Yeah.
airplane rode up and over the top of that truck. It
Yeah.
tore all the way back there. Yeah. One other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when the impact, what we see in a lot of the pictures is the fact that the thing is sitting on its tail, and I think that's a combination of the fact that a heck of a lot of weight has just been sheared off the very front of the aircraft, all the electronics and everything else, very, very heavy, along with the passengers, moving toward the back of the airplane and, affecting the balance. Okay, Liz is showing the picture of the aircraft that had shortly after the impact with the fire vehicle before it tilted up. Yeah. Wow, what a tragedy. Our hearts and thoughts and prayers go to the pilots who lost their lives and the families and friends of those two pilots and everybody that was injured. And then, of course, big miracle that occurred with the flight attendant, one of the flight attendants in the, I'm assuming, forward jump seat that was ejected like some, 100, 200 feet or more away from
I didn't
the
hear
aircraft.
how far it was.
And
outside the
considerable
aircraft
distance. Yeah, and she's still strapped into her jump seat, and I think she suffered a broken leg, some broken bones, multiple fractures in her leg, but I mean, she's still alive, which is amazing. Oh. That's good. That's a good sign. Yeah, we need to follow up on the condition of the passengers, but it seems like that they have been treated and released from hospitals. So, okay, what else to say?
What did I miss?
Everything.
Yeah, everything.
All of it.
Okay.
You'll have to listen to the recording.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the best.
Maybe you can write us a feedback on it after you listen to it.
Yeah, I will.
All right. Do we have any other questions from our live audience that they want us to address on this, or do we want to just kind of continue to listen to the briefings from the National Transportation Safety Board and get the preliminary report with some more factual data to discuss in a later episode?
Oh, I'm sure we'll have this on the next few shows for sure.
All right. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and pull up 01B, the next news item. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, we can cover this. This is related to the news item that we just covered, the crash at LaGuardia. We just received today, I think, some feedback from Sam Dawson just a couple of hours ago. APG crew, I'm sure you'll cover the LGA crash on today's show. Yep, we just did. Having been based at LaGuardia, I have many thoughts and opinions on the accident. I'll keep most of them to myself until the NTSB comes out with their results. There is one subject, however, that I will discuss. This is having ground clear aircraft and vehicles across an active runway. I know this is a pet peeve of Jeff's, and it almost bit me once at LaGuardia. LaGuardia will sometimes split ground with one frequency on one side of runway 4 and another ground frequency on the other side of runway 4. Yeah, that was pretty common, Sam, for me, in my experience. I was number 2 in line of aircraft waiting to cross runway 4. The aircraft ahead of me was cleared to cross runway 4, told to contact the other ground frequency, and told to expedite as an airplane was on final. In this scenario, after crossing the runway, you're not supposed to stop if you can't contact ground. You keep moving. I followed the other aircraft across 4, but then it stopped, leaving me on the runway and an airplane on final. and me on the new ground frequency, not tower. So I was in no position to warn tower or the landing airplane. I guess someone noticed as the airplane on final did a go-around. The new ground controller also noticed and lit into the aircraft ahead of me, telling them, "You don't stop." Yeah, sometimes pilots don't have the best SA, situational awareness of what's happening. I've seen this a lot in my career, where you're crossing and all of a sudden the person just stops and go, "Hey, you're not the only airplane here. There are people behind you that need to get off this runway. You're blocking."
Yeah, we should
very
get
frustrating.
rear vision mirrors, shouldn't we, Jeff? So that
Yeah,
we can see
right.
who's behind us. Because, we just ask the cabin crew to look out of the door. Can
Yeah,
you
just
look
open
out
up
the
one of the
door, see
passenger
if there's
windows in the
someone?
back. Just see if somebody's back there. Yeah.
It's
Okay, well,
hard to
thank you, Sam, for
maintain
that
SA when you can't see.
feedback. Okay. Yeah, let's do at least one, maybe two more news items. We knew that this was going to take up a majority of our time in the news segment today, and justifiably so. Shall we go with this next one? That right. We have talked about incidents where it was a very, very close call. Wow, that was just so close to being a complete tragedy because of the alertness of the crews or the tower controllers or whatever. Catastrophe was averted. But in this case, at the LaGuardia incident,
just a couple seconds difference, faster or slower with that truck would have been an entirely different situation.
Yep, you're right. So let's play. This next one involves an Alaska Boeing 737-9 MAX, registration November 738AL, Alpha Lima, performing flight 294 from Portland, Oregon to Newark, New Jersey. Was cleared to land on Newark's runway 22 left and on short final, which is the normal. Those are the runways that most of the airline traffic are using if they're operating on the 22s. A FedEx 777-200 freighter, registration November 853 Foxtrot Delta, performing flight 721 from Memphis to Newark, was cleared to land on runway 29. Okay, so that's not the normal runway, but they do use that at times based on wind conditions, other conditions. And if you're a cargo jet, I think that's more expeditious for where you're going to be going after you land. So they're trying to affect more efficient operation for FedEx, allowing them to land on runway 29. They were on short final. When the Alaska flight was descending through about 250 feet, tower instructed the aircraft to go around and climb to 2,000. The crew complied, initiated the go around at about 200 feet, and climbed above the landing Boeing 777-200. The aircraft was handed off to departure and subsequently to a rival who assured the crew it had been all ATC's fault and apologized. The aircraft positioned for another ILS approach to runway 22 left and landed without further incident. According to ADS-B data transmitted by both aircraft, the Alaska flight in the go-around overflew the FedEx jet, the 777, on runway 29 about 300 feet AGL. That was close. Only a couple hundred feet of separation, it sounds like to me. Oh, yeah, let's play that Bass Aviation, Liz. Good idea. All right, Jeffrey, find your keynote. And it's not that one. It's not that one. It's this one. Here we go. You guys ready?
Number 4542, fly the runway heading in your frequency for return, runway 1.
Oh, shoot. No, that's not it either. What happened to it? Did I not put that in there? Oh, man. I got a D- on my pre-show prep. Well, hang on. Let's just make sure. I might already have it in my folder. Nope. I guess I didn't download that one. Wait, close call. Oh, yeah. Is that one? Yeah. Okay. I thought that I had that in my... Let me look at my keynote again.
Okay. Good cow.
I do with it? Oh, okay. I did have it there. I just didn't recognize it. I thought it was like one of the title slides. It's actually the video. Okay. I am ready. So we're going to pretend like nothing happened. Okay, here we go.
FedEx 721 heavy turn right heading 100.
FedEx 721 heading 100.
All-Star 356, descend and maintain 3000.
Maintain 3000, All-Star 356.
United 1981, turn right heading 120.
120, 1981.
Lufthansa 412, heavy descend and maintain 4000.
Full sound block.
Lufthansa 412, heavy descend and maintain 4000. United 1560, cross Zico at 3, clear for the RNAV Whiskey 29, 170 knots, till AFIS.
Cross Zico 3000, 178, is clear for the RNAV Whiskey 29, Unit
1520, cross Wi-Fi 2, clear for the RNAV to 24, 180 or better to angle.
180 or better to angle, we, okay, 1520.
Lufthansa 412, heavy turn right heading 160.
412, heavy right to heading 160.
JetBlue 494, Newark Tower 118.3.
23, JetBlue 494, bye-bye.
Alaska 294, turn right heading 090.
Still busy.
Car 3691, flyer present heading, reduced speed to 220.
Present heading 220, Bridge 3691.
All-Star 356, descend and maintain 3000 and expedite down for me, please.
Descend and maintain 3000, leave it down for All-Star 356, sorry.
United 1981, turn right heading 160, enable direct to Zico.
60 heading, I'm going to proceed direct to Zico 1981.
Flex at 350, descend at 2000.
2000, flex 350.
FedEx 721, heavy, reduced speed to 190.
FedEx 721, speed 190.
Alaska 294, reduced speed to 190.
190, 294.
Okay, should I pause that, I guess? Okay. Important information to read, it says on the Bass Aviation video. What you just heard is only a 1-minute excerpt of the Newark approach frequency in real time. No cuts. This controller was constantly working 10 or more airplanes arriving into both Newark and Teterboro. From now on, and to save time on the video, some unrelated communications will be removed. No silences will be removed since there were none longer than 5 seconds. Okay, which is good because when I edit these videos, if I have a gap of more than 5 seconds or 5 seconds or more, then some of my software bitches at me and tells me that there's something wrong with your audio because it was like a big silent gap. So I always have to take those out when I'm doing the editing. Anyway, you don't care. Let's continue with the Bass Aviation video. I was wondering why he decided to put in all that stuff because it really doesn't seem to be pertinent to the actual, event that occurred here, the incident that occurred here. But I guess just to show how busy communications can be and busy things can be at Newark and Teterboro at this time of day. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, it's moving. Just don't hear anything.
Alaska 294, you're going to look for traffic land in runway 29 at 12 o'clock in 5 miles southbound a heavy 777 at 3.
All right, Alaska 294.
Alaska 294, maintain visual separation with them, turn right heading 160.
Good, 160, Alaska 294.
FedEx 721 heavy, clear for the RNAV Whiskey to 29, 170 to APIS, tower on 18.3.
721 to RNAV Whiskey 29, 170 to APIS, tower on
76, turn 15 degrees to the left and speed 180, please.
What was all that?
Full sound block.
United 1076, 15 left, speed 180.
15 left, speed 180,
Alaska 294, descend and maintain 2,500.
2,500, Alaska 294.
Alaska 294, 2 miles from Gimme, turn right heading 190, descend and maintain 2,500 till established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS 22 left approach or reduce your final approach speed.
90, 2000, so status, 5 left, long, Alaska 294.
she sees that there's going to be a problem with the spacing right there. That's why she requested the Alaska to slow to their final approach speed to get a little bit more space, I think, between them and the FedEx.
Tower FedEx 721 to Vico.
FedEx 721 Heavy Newark Tower, wind 29010, runway 29 clear to land, caution lake turbulence, and trail heavy Airbus 350.
Copy that, clear to land, runway 29, FedEx 721.
Alaska 294, all the way back on the speed for me, please, in the tower 18-3.
You're going to go to Tower, good night, Alaska 294.
She's obviously still concerned about spacing.
FedEx 721 Heavy, year number 3 in sequence, just the arriving runway 22 left behind you. You might see him off to your right when you're coming in.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, probably will.
Tower 294 ILS, 22 left.
92175, wind 290 at 8, runway 22 right. Mike, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 22 right, Mike, yeah, 2175.
Regard 3613, contact Newark departure.
Departure, we got 3613, see ya. Tower 294 ILS, 22 left.
Oscar 294, Newark Tower, wind 290 at 8, runway 22 left, clear to land, reduce to final approach speed. Your number 3 in sequence, traffic, heavy 777 arriving runway 29 prior to you, caution link turbulence.
Alright, respond, clear land, 22 left, last 294.
This is the point. I think the conversation in the cockpit, if it were in my cockpit, would be like, how is this going to work? Okay, we're watching
Oscar 294, Newark Tower, runway, or first go around.
Going around, that's 294.
Oscar 294, you'll fly runway heading, maintain 2000.
Runway heading 2000, that's 294.
Tower 977 Whiskey, RNAV 29.
Okay, they're in the...
Oscar 294, contact Newark departure.
Departure, that's 294. Got that freak, 294.
119.2. FedEx 721 Heavy, left turn on to uniform for the Yankee in contact ground 28.
That's on uniform, I'll catch around 20. Do it, nice job.
Okay, so obviously the FedEx 777 landed safely and didn't have to go around, and the right call was made by the tower controller to send the Alaska 294 around. And watching the video, and again, you'll have access, a link to it if you're looking at the show notes. Toward the very end there, one of the displays or simulated radar depictions show on the bottom right-hand side the horizontal and vertical separation. And I think I caught it at 0.00 horizontal separation, and I think either 200 or 300 feet vertical
I think the article said
separation.
it was 300 feet.
300, yeah.
Yep.
So 300 or maybe even a little less, because what's the error on ADS-B or tolerance?
A lot.
A lot, yeah. So, yeah, there was probably, I bet that the Alaska pilots got a really, really close-up view of that 777 below them when they were doing their go-around. Peter Tarantelli in our live audience says, squeeze play gone bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess this is like an airborne squeeze play. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a common term in air traffic control when you're trying to slot somebody into another. It's called a squeeze play.
Or shoehorn them in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard it referred to mostly with somebody on the ground clear for takeoff and somebody coming in for landing. But I guess, yeah, the same principle applies here when two airplanes are trying to land on different runways at the same time.
Yeah. What was interesting was the speeds that I noticed on that visual, and again, don't know how very accurate that was, but the 7.3, which is a bit smaller, seemed to be carrying a lot more speed. They were, according to the readout there, they were doing about 160 all the way to short final, whereas the 777 had slowed down to 120. Different weights in the airplanes. This is something you guys can speak to a little bit more, but I could see a 40 or 50 knot difference there having an effect, because that intersection, basic rules, one of those airplanes has to be through the intersection before the other airplane crosses the threshold. And with how close that intersection is to the threshold to the runways, that doesn't need to be far at all to be a legal operation. And it looks really tight, but again, it's one of those, a couple seconds, 8 or 10 knots by either one of those airplanes different would have made a totally different situation, I think.
Now, how about, the UH Blackhawk in our live audience says 7.3 has a higher approach speed than the 757. And I think I would guess, and maybe you can back me up on this, UH Blackhawk, that this is a 737-9 MAX. So it's like, I think the biggest 737 that has been made. It's the biggest, probably the heaviest, probably has the highest speeds, approach speeds of any of the 737 models. So that's probably why it had such a high ground speed coming in. I'm guessing. I don't know. Again, maybe UH, you can.
Was the FedEx a 7.5 or a 777?
No, I think he's just making the point, relatively speaking.
Oh, okay. I see.
The approach speeds, like the 7.5 is a bigger airplane. You'd think that it would be a higher. So, interestingly, the smallest little RJ, the CRJ 200, has like the highest approach speeds of all the CRJs because of the way the wing is designed and the fact that it doesn't have leading edge lift devices. It doesn't have slats on the front of the wing, so it has to fly faster to keep the lift, going. And even though it's a smaller and less heavy airplane than its bigger brother and sisters.
It's higher wing loading.
Peter Tarantelli says the triple had that turn right at the end. Could that be why it was going much slower? I don't think the speed at all was a thing for the 777. I think they never said anything to them about like keep your speed up or anything else.
No, they gave him 170 to the initial fix, but other than that, no.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
I've got a question too.
Mm-hmm.
What would happen
supposed to have answers,
Nick. What would have happened if the 737 hadn't heard the go-around? How close do you think they'd have got before they realised that they were going to have a problem?
Well, the controller did point out traffic to both aircraft and say, hey, this guy, you're going to see this guy, this is what he's doing. Hey, you're going to see this guy, this is what he's doing. So they should have been aware and watching each other. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to think that both aircraft were in the mindset prepared for a go-around if it didn't look like it was going to work out.
Well, all right. So they didn't hear the go-around, and both aircraft were aware there was a conflict. What happens if both of them had decided to go around? Just visually looking at the other aircraft going, shit, we're going to get damn close. Let's go around, just as the other crew said, let's go around.
That would have been a mess.
That would have been a big mess, yeah.
Reminds me of was it San Francisco, where the airplane landing did a go-around and was flying over the top of the airplane that was taking off?
Oh, yeah, that crossed my mind. That was the Air Canada boys, wasn't it?
Well, that was the one that almost landed on the taxiway.
Feet,
You're talking about the Air Canada.
Yeah.
He's talking about two airplanes that are actually, one's taking off and onene's doing a go-around. And
that was
like right
a FedEx involved in that one as well, I think. That was a low IFR, low ceilings day or something like that, if I remember.
Yeah. Oh, like at Austin? Was that the one with the Category 3 approach? And I think it was in Austin, Texas, I think. Anyway, whatever.
Anyway.
We've had so many of them. And so many times, by the way, we have said here on the show when we were talking about these incidents and accidents, or almost accidents, like, wow, that could have been, that was so close to two big airplanes with a bunch of passengers on them colliding and being a big mess. And I think we've also said many times, and I think our producer Liz will tell us, yes, you say it a lot. Like, if like this is that close,
Did I say a bad word? What bad word was that?
It was the baddest of them all.
Bad.
I heard it.
What did he?
Did
he say Boeing?
No, he said, "Oh bleep, what's that guy doing?" or something to that effect when he was being the pilot looking out the window.
He
was very in character.
That was an actual quote.
That was a quote, so it's okay.
Yeah, it was a direct quote of the pilot.
Yes, indeed it was.
Captain Nick has access to the private CVRs.
I know what they would have said.
Sugar, honey,
I bet that wasn't far off.
I didn't even hear it. I'm so used to hearing him say it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think.
But can I make one final point?
Yes, please do.
Do you think it's worth revisiting the clearance to land procedure in America?
No.
Because
I think you're going to have as quick and as fast a luck with that as you are of retrofitting
but
every
the rest of
airplane
the
with a good
world
radio.
doesn't agree with you guys. And I'm just going to say, in that situation with the 777 and the 73, if the 777 had been given a clearance to land and the 73 was not, then the likelihood of having one aircraft land and one aircraft go around would have been much safer, because the aircraft that had been given clearance to land would go, okay, I've got the right of way here, so I'm cool. And the other guy would have gone, I haven't got a clearance to land, so I'm going to get to where it's uncomfortable, then I'm going to go around. And if the controller had missed it or the transmission had been blocked, it would have still been the safe option rather than the other option.
I don't disagree.
I think that your logic, you said you agree or disagree?
I do not disagree.
Yeah, we do not disagree. We agree. Okay. It's just that the idea that you have that it's going to somehow change here in the U.S. anytime soon.
You'll get new radios one day.
I don't know. Before you know it, we'll have all these autonomous vehicles flying around.
Won't need radios.
You won't need radios. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not going to say that. All right.
Yeah, you could have better fantasies, I think. Yes.
At least this is a fantasy that he has that we can talk about on the show. All right. I think we should go to this segment, Getting to Know Us. It's where we kind of share with each other what we have been up to between episodes. All right. Let's see here. Who would like to start today's show and tell?
Hey, Jeff.
I will.
Oh, Jeff. All right.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Thank you. Been doing my normal singing stuff, and funeral earlier today. I got to sing in, and I also got to have a nice dinner and conversation with an APG community member and sometimes co-host of the show, substitute co-host, and also the guy that I spent, I don't know, like over a week traveling across the country in 2020 on the big road trip out to Southern California. Yes, ding, 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 ding. Liz has it corrected. Stephen Ivey. He called up and said that he was laying over at PDK and was going to be overnighting in a hotel on the north side on the perimeter, and so we met for dinner. So it was so nice to see Stephen last night. So no, I didn't get any of that, Liz, because it was just two friends getting together and
but we
talking
would
about
love
life.
to have heard his news and everything.
Trust me.
I'm
You
so
wouldn't have wanted
sad.
to hear our most of our conversation was confidential, so on both sides. So anyway, it was good. It was good. So Stephen enjoyed it, and Stephen, I enjoyed it, and maybe Stephen did enjoy it. I don't know, but that's what I've been up to. There. I do have a big week of singing. This is the biggest time of the liturgical calendar in the Catholic Church, which is coming up on Holy Week. Sunday is Palm Sunday. And then after Palm Sunday, well, actually, Palm Sunday kind of unofficially, or maybe officially, starts Holy Week. But we have several things happening during the week, special masses and stuff. But toward the end of the week is the sacred Easter Triduum. Monday, Thursday, or Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Easter Vigil Mass for the Easter Sunday Masses. So anyway, yeah, it's going to be very, very busy for sure. Alpha Juliet, how about you? What have you been up to, sir?
Kind of the normal. Got to do a little flying over the weekend. Got to see our old friend Bravo Sierra. Got some cool pictures over the lake. We were attempting to drop his airplane off for annual, and I was going to go pick up him and his son from a nearby airport, Paulding. And turns out someone else ran out of mechanical talent on the runway and somehow disabled their landing gear or damaged their aircraft on the runway, so the airport was closed. So we just decided to join up in formation and fly back to the airport from whence we came. And got a couple pictures on the way over the Lake Allatoona, which was really pretty that day. So got to exercise the old 206, which was nice, and hadn't been in that in several weeks. But great airplane to fly. I'll be flying it again on Saturday. We're planning to go down with a couple people. Mr. Charlie Kilo, who's in the show chat, and a couple other people are hopefully going to meet us down at a South Georgia airport for the Chill and Grill, little afternoon fly-in, hang out, talk about airplanes kind of thing. So we're going to load up the 206 with about 5 people and go see what that's all about. Other than that, just normal working and working. I did not go to work today. Woke up this morning with the allergies or the pollen that has been in the air just destroyed me the last 2 days, and I woke up just feeling really, really terrible. So I did not go to work today. Managed to recover about a little after lunchtime and get functional enough to get on the show, but not a lot of effort required to walk down to my basement. So yeah, other than that, just kind of normal daily life. I don't think I mentioned to you guys shortly after, was it before the last show? Might have been right before the last show or just after the last show. My youngest has decided to continue to follow in the footsteps of my oldest. So my oldest, when she was 3 or 4, managed to trip in the yard and got several stitches in her head. And my youngest did the same thing, except she did it at school with a doorstop. My almost to the day, literally to the calendar day, almost 10 years apart, my littlest one managed to fracture her growth plate in her foot and in her ankle. The same exact place. Same thing my oldest daughter did at the same age.
Ouchie.
So
yeah.
she's walking around in the cutest little space boot. We call it her moon boot. It's like an air cast boot that she gets to hobble around in, and it's the cutest thing ever. But it's also really kind of sad.
Yeah.
So
painful, I guess.
She seems fine now. It was very painful at first, and there was a good bit of swelling. So we were doing a lot of the rice method, because we were under this. Happened on I guess this was right after the show, because this happened on a Friday night. So over the weekend, it's a Friday or Saturday. Either way, it's over the weekend, so all the regular doctor's offices are closed, and it's looking like a sprained ankle, and she can still move her toes, and circulation and all that stuff's looking okay. So we wrapped it, we iced it, and Monday took her to the doctor, and they did the CT scan, and turned out it was a chipped or a fractured growth plate. So it rapidly hurt less, and she's back to full speed, just without the flexibility in her ankle. So it's kind of, like I said, it's on some level very amusing to watch her run with this space boot on, but she's full tilt. That kid is unstoppable. So yeah, hopefully another 4 weeks or so, and she'll be back to wearing regular shoes.
Thanks. I'll tell her that we hope that she heals quickly.
I will.
And you know what I forgot to do when it was my segment for getting to know us. And last week, Dana sent us some congratulatory episode 700 audio that we didn't realize until after we finished recording the show. So apologies to Captain Dana. And I just about forgot again to play his audio. So producer Liz reminded me that I need to play that. So here we go. This is from Captain Dana.
Captain.
Let's start from the beginning. How about?
Well, hello, APG. This is Captain Dana. Want to congratulate Captain Jeff, Captain Nick, Dr. Steph, of course, producer Liz, and the rest of the cast on reaching a milestone of 700 episodes. It's absolutely amazing. Or as I used to say, wow. Just really proud of you guys. Keep up the great work, and hope things are well with everybody out there in the community. Talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Captain Dana. Very heartfelt. Thank you.
Yeah, nice one. Cheers, Dana.
Yeah. All right. So now we've done that, and we can. Look, Steph has joined us. Dr. Steph is in the house. Hey.
Oh, a center parting. That's novel.
Yeah, your hair looks different.
It's braided, but it's hard to tell maybe on the, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I can see it. Yeah. Gotcha. Looks good. So how have you been?
Good. I came in the very end there, heard AJ say he was feeling unwell. I've kind of not been 100% this week either, but I actually think mine is related to the waves of pollen that are in the air.
No, that's what was kicking my butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in Chicago this past weekend for the Shamrock Shuffle, so I ran that race there, and there's no pollen in Chicago yet, fortunately, so I felt great while I was there, had a couple of good races, came back here, and it was, I don't know, I left Chicago and it was 40-something degrees and windy, landed in Charlotte and it was like 80 degrees and hot.
And yellow.
And I had not put the AC on in my house, and I got to my house and it was quite hot inside my house. So I opened a window and slept with that open, and then I woke up on Monday morning and couldn't breathe. So I think all of the pollen found its way into my house through that open window. And I can probably still hear, I feel like my voice is a little scratchy. I feel much better today. Monday I felt pretty terrible. I was like, man, what is going on? And I feel like I just haven't slept well this week either. I think that's part of it too. So, yeah, a little dragging, little not 100%, but functional enough. Not sick, just, I just feel like the pollen it's coated my car, it's coated my house, all of my, my deck, my walkways and everything. And I feel like it's coating the inside of my respiratory tract as well. So
yeah,
the pollinating has occurred.
Yes, the pollinating.
Yes.
Yeah. It's all this pine pollen that you see, all that yellow.
Yeah.
Large.
And on top of it, they're doing a bunch of prescribed burns in South Carolina.
Oh, that helps too.
All south of here. And of course, the winds are coming out of like the southwest. So directly, at us too. So that's helping. It looks really hazy and disgusting outside, and it's just this combo smoke pollen mess. So I'll take rain.
It's my favorite.
Whenever it would like to rain, that would be nice.
Favorite flavor, smoke pollen.
Smoked pollen.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a delicacy.
Southern delicacy.
Southern delicacy. Yeah. Southern springtime delicacy. Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, I don't have a whole lot going on. I was in Chicago this past weekend. We talked about that a little bit. I ran a mile race, which is a very short race. I don't normally
do. That sounds awfully quick.
It was over, and I went, wow, that was a race. But I ran at least an adult personal best. I don't know if I ever ran faster when I was in high school, but I ran 6 minutes and 12 seconds for my mile.
Wow,
so
that's quick. That's good.
I had a goal of roughly 6 minutes, but it was a pretty technical course. It had a couple of hairpin U-turns in it, as well as a little uphill section.
That's not fair.
For a road course, it had 8 turns. So I think if I'd been on a track in ideal conditions, I'd be 6 minutes ish.
That's kind of close to what I could run the mile in.
Yeah.
I mean, yours is faster, but it's in the ballpark.
In the ballpark, yeah. And then the next day, the Shamrock Shuffle is an 8K, so it's just under 5 miles.
My watch keeps
such odd numbers.
I know.
My watch keeps coming and telling me I've got a split time for a mile, which I think is great when I'm 26 minutes. Is that a good?
That's good. That's pretty good. That's a quick walk mile.
Yeah, that means I can do 2 miles in an hour, just about. Yeah.
I did my 8K, which is 4.9 miles in 35 minutes and 10 seconds.
Oh, wow. It's only 4 times faster.
Only.
Only.
Yeah.
So
come on.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. I got a huge Italian beef sandwich from Portillo's, and then a personal deep dish pizza from Lou Malnati's.
Did I tell you they put a Portillo's in down here?
They're popping up all, yeah.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's on Bear Parkway.
Where?
Bear Parkway, next to the Costco, right down from the airport, in Kennesaw.
What's the name of the parkway?
Barrett.
Oh, Barrett. Okay. Wow. I can't
hot
wait.
dogs
Is it open?
and Italian beef.
It's been
all
open.
around.
The rush has passed. It was to the point where the
Oh,
drive-through
man.
line went
I love
twice
their-
around the building and down out into the street. And I was like,
you
cool,
took
I don't
me
need
there, didn't you,
this that
Jeff?
bad.
Yeah.
Didn't we go to
we
one?
did. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
And I had to look at the message that Steph sent me so I could get the order right.
My
Yep.
dad's been there a few times now. I have not made it over there yet in the right availability of time to go. So let me know when you want to go to Portillo's and we'll go over there.
That was maybe we'll do that, and then you can give me back the
devices.
mix pre and the stuff that I lent you guys. So yeah, perfect. Great excuse, man.
There you go.
Okay, awesome. All right, Captain Nick, it's your turn, sir.
Yeah, great. I got a surprise message from our friend from the Middle East, Basim. And he said, I'm coming into Stansted, got 3-day layover. Should we get together? And I went, oh, that's brilliant. I saw Basim about 4 years ago when I was following his flying training. He was up in Yorkshire doing jet upset training. And about a year ago, we bumped into each other because he'd just got his first commercial job and he was very happy, and he was flying out of his own country in the Middle East there, which he thought was great. And, this time it was slightly different. But anyway, he started at Stansted, I started from where I live, and we both jumped on trains and waited for them to collide in the middle of London. And the survivors all got out and we went to St. Paul's Cathedral, and I just basically put a pin in a map because I don't know central London very well. Yeah, but I think he's different religion. I don't know if he would have been struck dead. He might. Oh, me. Well, I'm religionless, so keep flicking because I'm not going to speak for that long. Anyway, we met up and had a bit of a drink in the Ye Old London pub, Ye Old London's, in their secret garden. And I recorded a nice long video, which I will have ready for the next show. It's kind of almost plain tale length. And then we disappeared out and found a restaurant. Well, I booked a table at a restaurant. We had a lovely Italian meal, very nice. And then he did his Superman pose, and we went our separate ways. But safe travels home, Basim, and lovely to see you. So thanks very much. Very interesting hearing him talk about flying in what is effectively a war zone. And he's between two of the countries that are having at each other, amongst others. And his country is surrounded by, on 3 sides, by airspace that is completely closed. So, they can only fly in and out. He's one of the very few airlines that's actually operating. So that's really interesting. And I hope you enjoy the little chat we had when we put it on the show next week, if Jess says that's okay. And lovely, thanks. And then as another pleasant surprise, having just got back, our friend Joseph Gorton messaged me to say, I'm coming down your way to do some simulators. How about in Creepy Crawley, which is the town near Gatwick, Crawley, and it's full of creeps. Oh, no, I can't say that. Nice people live there as well. It's not just
along with the creepy
creepers. Along with the exactly. So on Saturday we're going to get together, and he's going to come down here, and we'll. I booked him into the local pub, so we're going to have a nice meal there, and I will endeavour to have a little bit of audio from him as well, which we can perhaps spread out a bit. But that'll be fun.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to that. Artwork from the 700th. Okay, we as soon as I had the suggestion that we had a peeping goose, all to do with the Canadian goose that managed to wedge itself into a passenger window and break the window, which I thought was amazing. Yeah, Newark as well. Oh dear. Goose has a gander. So I fondly imagined a goose was trying to peep in the toilet window, but the AI couldn't produce a very good toilet. Doesn't like doing things like that. Anyway, there's your goose breaking into this aircraft, which is apparently a 797. Isn't that amazing?
Pre-production.
Yes.
Wow.
So goose has a gander now. Can you see the show number there, everybody?
I spotted it.
Well done.
I see James Bond
on
logo.
the throat. Exactly, yes. Instead of being 700, it was 007. And I found a James Bond font to put that in there, 007.
I thought I saw it somewhere else.
Oh, you might have done.
Yep, but it's somewhere else too.
Yeah, there's a couple there.
Okay.
And keep going, Liz.
Yeah, the next slide, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, up here on the left side of that, whatever that is.
On the window shade handle.
On the window shade, yeah, handle or whatever. 700. Well, I guess it's several of those 700s.
Yeah, I merged 700s. I've been
700,
seeing
700s.
adverts for coffee mugs where they've got rude words, but it's all written sideways and the text all blurs together, so you can't work it out. But that's
where I spotted it.
700 across the shade handle, and of course the famous cuckoo sticker that the people put on an aircraft when they want to repossess it.
Yeah,
that's my version of a cuckoo sticker.
I was going to say, is that the way they actually look?
Yes, I think it's a copy of the real thing. Yeah. And finally, the logo. Did everyone spot the logo?
And the D. Yep.
Yes, well done. Good job. So that was fun for the 700th. The jackass, I fired him.
No jackass this time.
Yep. So I completely forgot about the jackass. What a jackass I am. I forgot the jackass. Well, that was a good joke then to play on you. Ha 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 ha.
All right. Well, we're not really going to do a coffee fund because we don't have any, I guess we could do that. Okay. Let's talk about the coffee fund.
Johnny, how much more coffee?
No thanks.
Now Captain Nick sings. I love coffee. I love tea. I love the APG community. Coffee and tea and the Java and me. A cup, a cup, a cup, a cup, a cup. Oh yeah, the Coffee Fund. It's your way to support the show financially if you'd like to. You don't have to. In fact, probably 99% of you listening, watching, don't. And that's perfectly cool with us because it's a free show and we do it because we enjoy doing it. But if you're in that 1%-ish of the people listening and watching and want to give us something for our efforts and encouragement and that kind of thing, you're more than welcome to do so. And you can join the Coffee Bar Club. A couple different ways to do it. One is the Coffee Fund Classic method, which is most people use as a one-off or every once in a while kind of a contribution mechanism. There are a handful of people that use it as a recurring donation platform as well. Most people who are doing recurring donations, though, use Patreon. They become patrons of our show via patreon.com/airlinepilotguy. And there you pledge a certain amount per episode, per creation. We normally don't do any more than 4 per month. And so it's another great way to participate in the Coffee Bar Club. If you want more information about how you can do it, head over to airlinepilotguy.com/coffee. You'll be glad you did. And we will too. Thank you. All right. Wow, time flies, doesn't it? Okay, let's hit some feedback. I guess in order, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. All right. Let's do some feedback.
Captain, incoming message.
All right, this is from Texas and Lashak. The day the war began. He's talking about the Iranian conflict thing going on over there in the Gulf states. Greetings, Captain Jeff and APG crew. Had something interesting cross my feed today, an account of the passengers on American Flight 120, a Boeing 787-9, November 821 Alpha November, on February 27. The brief story describes the moment the news broke that the U.S. had begun striking Iran. I'm kind of reminded of the stories of those who were in the air when news of 9/11 started breaking. Obviously, this isn't quite as extensive as having nearly the entire aviation world come to a standstill, but it would still be an eerie feeling, I'd imagine. The passenger in the story quips that his young... I'm sorry. The passenger in the story...
In the story that follows?
In the story that follows, yeah. Maybe. Okay. The passenger in the story that follows quips that his young daughter was the calmest person on the plane as all the adults start scrolling through their phones for updates. The images in the story are just stock, but I looked up the flight on Flight Radar 24, link provided. Anyway, just thought I'd share that. This is the Texas and Lashak signing off. And he points us to the article linked to guessingheadlights.com. Interesting. Passengers aboard American Airlines Flight 120 signed up for a long haul from Philadelphia to the Middle East. What they got instead was a 16-hour journey to nowhere that traced a nervous arc across the Atlantic before circling back home. The wide-body jet had departed smoothly from Philadelphia just before 7:30 p.m., climbing out over the eastern seaboard and settling into the steady rhythm of an intercontinental crossing. The aircraft was scheduled to fly to Doha, Qatar, a major regional hub that connects travelers onward across the Middle East, including to destinations like Dubai. 7 hours into the flight, as the aircraft cruised high above Spain near airspace west of Casablanca, the mood inside the cabin abruptly shifted, according to passenger Akil Mujiburaman. I think I get a bell on that one. The captain's voice cut through the calm with a stark announcement. A war had begun. United States strikes on Iran had triggered immediate airspace closures across parts of the Middle East. The aircraft would be turning around. On the moving map displayed on seatback screens, travelers could see the jet's path bend sharply over the Mediterranean. Instead of pushing east toward the Persian Gulf, the plane pivoted west, retracing thousands of miles it had just flown. For many on board, the realization settled in slowly. What had been a routine overnight crossing had turned into a front row seat to global geopolitics. Anyway, so the story continues, but essentially the reason why he sent it in and we thought we would cover it is the fact that that they had enough fuel to make it all the way back to Philadelphia, I believe, right? Did they return back from where they started? Yeah. And some of the things that happen in this wacky world of aviation, things happening in the world that are beyond our control and totally unexpected, and how air crews, especially through their extensive training, are able to handle the situation. And of course, getting help from dispatch and, the company headquarters and that kind of thing. Okay, what do you want us to do now? Where are we going to go? Well, we don't want you to come all the way back to Philadelphia. Yeah, you're right, Liz. I think Gander would have been a wonderful place, and they could have been looking for those gooses that are gandering all the time, right?
I thought the ganders were goosing.
Gooses?
Oh, they could go both to goose and gander.
Great trip.
I don't know. What do y'all think about this?
It's, like I said, pretty impressive. It's able to get 90% of the way there and turn around and go home.
Yeah, they must be carrying an awful lot of fuel.
Must have. Yeah.
Or they had a really good tailwind for the part of the flight that was
part?
towards their destination.
Yeah.
Before they turn around.
Yeah.
And then it must have died down on the way back. I'm sure that's exactly what happened.
More than zero.
But, I'm looking at this picture in the article. Actually, they landed at Denver in a 737. I don't know what happened there.
That's
weird.
a really,
Transmuted.
amazing story.
I think the airplane they took off in was also not a, what did they say it was, a 787?
I think it was a Dreamliner. Yeah.
Supposed to be a Dreamliner, but what is this picture of? That's an Airbus. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell from this angle, but it almost like an A321.
It looks like a 321.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. It's wrong.
It's not a Dreamliner.
Big shock
they
there.
changed airplanes multiple times in midair was really the impressive thing.
It's just like in the movies.
It's just like that Red Bull stunt.
Every scene's in a different
quite
airplane.
pull off.
Very good.
As long as that's painted the correct way, right? Nobody cares. Okay. Thank you, Texas, for that. Let's continue on with this. Let's see. Let's skip that one. Well, hang on. We're skipping that one. Didn't we? Didn't we talk about that before the show? Captain Steve? Didn't we talk about Captain Steve? Okay. Yeah, I was going to wait a minute. I'm pretty sure we had this conversation. Okay. Okay. Well, hey, Adam, if I guess we could cover this and just not play any of the video. No, because you have to kind of play the video to kind of discuss this, and it's a long video. So, Adam, if you're listening to the video, sorry, we're going to go ahead and skip this one this time. Okay. But we do have some feedback from Robert Thompson, Robert Tucker, Robert Thompson in Tucker, once living somewhere near the Big Chicken in Marietta. He says, Verticon Atlanta 2026. Please check the link below for a short audio video clip from my visit this week to Verticon Atlanta 2026. I think it was at the Georgia International Congress Center or Conference Center. And so now this is where I go to my keynote. If I can find it, here we go. And I hit this. Which one is it? Is it this one? No. Is this one? No. Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting closer. I'm getting warmer. There it is. All right, so let's play this homemade video from Robert Tucker. Sorry, Robert Thompson. Here we go.
Hello, crew. This is from the Verticon event. I forget what it was called before, but 2026 here at the Georgia World Congress Center in Atlanta. So they fly most of these helicopters in. I want to say I had sent over some feedback before on this event. It does move around. It's been to Dallas. I think it's going to be in Anaheim next year. I think they were advertising I was leaving today. But just some quick feedback. I felt really poor as usual. I made the joke that there were no price tags anywhere as I was walking around and looking at not just the helicopters, but everything that goes along with it, from the vendors to the repairs to just everything that goes with it. You had a Wellstar, local here in Atlanta with their, rescue helicopter there. They had flown in for the event. And even simulators where you could go up and they had like I think there's a video coming up here, and try to, launch a crane down to the water. But apparently this particular aerospace, there's the video there, this particular vertical aerospace, as they're calling it, is kind of taking off, I guess, with the aero taxis and all of that sort of business out there. And I guess also it's possibly easier to power a helicopter type vehicle with battery power, I guess, than with, like a plane that is not quite vertical. So just wanted to share videos, pictures of quite the extensive event. And as the example there of the bell styling options, that's why I felt poor. Again, no price tags. But quite an event. It held, pretty much the entire hall there at the Georgia World Congress Center. And wanted to share the event. It goes on the rest of this week, I think, through Thursday. And if you're able to go down and check it out, I had a friend that kind of snuck me in the side door, as he did last time. So hope the crew is well. Wanted to share this. Have a great day.
Thank you, Robert. I think I misidentified the venue. I was thinking the Georgia International Conference or Center, but I guess the World Congress Center is down in downtown Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not near the airport? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, sorry about that. Very informative. He's talking about the use of electrical power in helicopters and batteries and that sort of thing. I'm wondering if it really has more to do with the fact that most helicopter and vertical aviation journeys are usually short little hops. Maybe that's why it's more suited to that world than it is for like longer duration kind of flying and in fixed wing. I don't know. Just a thought.
Yep, makes sense.
It was formerly called the Heli Expo. It's been in Atlanta in the past.
It's a hell of an expo for sure. Yeah. I guess now with the dawn of quadcopters and whatever you were calling these drones and
VTOL, the VTOL personal devices VTOL and whatever.
Kind of fit. They all fit in that same category, right? Vertical flight.
It goes this way, not this way.
Yeah. Sometimes both.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not a lot of good just to go. You don't want to go just up and down, do you?
No, that'd be
all
just
right,
like a
did you
balloon.
enjoy the journey? You're back down.
I mean, that'd be like being in a balloon, wouldn't it? I mean, that's all that you do in a balloon.
You could. It does work fairly well for skydiving sometimes.
We could
for
skydiving. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, did somebody say a balloon, Captain Nick, number 9?
Oh yeah. Why? You got some balloon stories?
Yeah.
Another disaster.
Apudari.
They're always from Australia too, aren't they?
How do you pronounce his last name? Somebody else do that, and I'll play the bell.
Apudari.
Okay. The title of his feedback is "The Moment a Hot Air Balloon Takes Out a Kayak in Canberra." Did I say that right? Canberra?
Yep.
Okay. In Australia. Okay. G'day, Captain Jeff. Not that Captain Nick needs any encouragement, but I thought you might be interested in this video. Wonder why. Let's take a look at the video that he sent a link to. And
do you have something against kayaks, Nick?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to ask him after we see this.
Having
the balloon
said that,
did.
Yeah.
You'd think that kayak would be able to outrun a balloon, don't you?
Oh no!
And now we have a first-person view in the kayak.
Yeah.
Of course,
in the offending kayak. Oh my!
Listen to them.
Don't.
Make yourself small.
Duck.
I
Boom. And they became
confused
a duck
why he didn't
in the
just
water.
back up a little bit or alter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
In
It
short
seems to me
distances,
they weren't making any
kayaks are
effort.
Quite maneuverable.
Zero effort. He
I
just
know.
sat there and watched it happen.
Yeah, because we could see the paddle. It wasn't
Yeah, he
being
was just holding
used.
it, making no attempt to paddle forwards or backwards to the side.
Oh, Liz thinks that Grant McCarran was piloting that hot air balloon, and apparently Grant feels the same way about kayaks that Nick feels about balloons.
That's it.
Wow, being a balloon's just a disaster in slow motion, isn't it?
Anyways. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Captain Stefan sent this. He apologizes for not being able to join us today, but he did kind of participate in this way by sending us some feedback that he received because he does a podcast as well. He says, I have a question from one of our listeners. Maybe you can help. Maybe it's something for APG. And then so this person sends his feedback to Stefan. Hello, Stefan. Some time ago, I had an experience with a katana that might also be interesting for other listeners. Back then, I flew for about 2 hours at flight level 95, which is 9,500 feet. The outside air temperature was 3 degrees Celsius and remained consistently above freezing both during the descent and on the ground. To my surprise, afterwards, the cleaning water on top of the wings, and only there, had frozen. I explained this to myself by the reduced pressure on the upper surface of the wing in flight and the associated cooling of the surrounding air. An acquaintance also pointed out in this context the lower thermal conductivity of fiberglass compared to aluminum, or aluminium if you prefer. Possibly this issue is therefore less pronounced in metal aircraft. Could you tell whether our assumptions are correct, how strong this cooling effect is in practice, and whether this topic is considered in the IFR domain? Many thanks for the great podcast. Of course, he's not talking about ours. He's talking about Captain Stefan's. Keep up the good work. And he says, I might add that the Katana has an integral tank. The TAT, total air temperature rise, is only 1 degrees centigrade, according to a Gemini AI. Okay. Composite material store temperature much longer. Any ideas? And again, this is from Matthias Greffenhan via Stefan. Okay, so he's talking about the Katana, which is a Diamond Aviation DA-20 aircraft. So I'm going to sit back and listen to the eloquence from our very smart hosts, Captains Nick and Alpha Juliet. Captain Nick sent a video in. Oh,
well,
shoot, I never
saw
that.
I have a video of ice dripping off an airliner, but I didn't send it in. I don't think so. So I didn't prepare it.
Well, I'm not going to play it because I didn't even notice it.
Quite right too.
Yeah. Well, it's right there, but I have to do some things to it.
Oh well, while AJ does his thing, perhaps you could prepare it, Jeff.
Do you want me to prepare that?
A whole lot of the thing.
It's only a few seconds long.
Okay. Well, okay. So that means I have to. So I can't just play it from here, as you see it in Evernote. It doesn't
Don't
work.
worry about
you
it.
Can't just hit the thing and play it. But I can do that if you want. I can go over here to Downey, and then I can go like this.
Well, can AJ read his bit or explain?
I mean, so I can just give the thoughts that I had of what might have caused this. So there was a little bit of kind of back and forth, I think, between me and Nick and Stefan, trying to get a little bit more information as well. But the way composites work is they take longer to change in heat, right? So if you start heating a composite, it takes longer for it to absorb that heat, and vice versa. If you freeze a composite, it takes longer for it to change temperature. But that works in inverse as well, meaning if you get a composite material such as carbon fiber or fiberglass, which is what these wings are made of, very, 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 very cold for a period of time to where it, gets to that temperature, you can put it into a warmer temperature and it will remain cold for a very long time. Much different than aluminum, for example, that lots of airplane parts and pieces are made out of. So what could have happened, being at a much higher temperature, much higher altitude, I should say, much colder temperatures, that wing could become kind of cold soaked. Once you put the cleaning water on it on the ground, that wing is still below the temperature of freezing. That was one of my initial thoughts. And partially to that, and this is less of an issue because of the thermal properties of that composite material, but we talked about fuel being cold soaked as well because it is an integral tank. So that fuel can do a similar process. And I think that's something that Captain Jeff and Captain Nick have seen before, where water, mist, or dew will freeze on top of the wing after they've landed because that fuel is so super cold that it freezes the water that forms after they've landed, even if the ambient air temperature may be above freezing. So, Nick, your response.
Yeah, that's perfectly right. Absolutely. The thing that I was relating it to was cold soaking from flying at altitude, and here we've got a wing that has been cold soaked. The fuel inside is cold soaked, and so there's, with the moisture in the air on the ground, ice has formed on the underside of the wing, and as warm fuel gets put in and mixed up with that cold fuel that's really cold inside the wing and hasn't frozen because of course it's got icing inhibitor mixed in with it, that it slowly melts that ice off, and that was just a nice layer of dripping ice as I was doing the walk around. I was more interested in staying dry than anything else. But he said he stayed at sort of +3 throughout, so he didn't really cold soak his airplane. So I was trying to work out where this cooling came from, and I could only relate it to aerodynamic cooling.
That was one of the questions that I had too, because he said the outside air temperature was 3 degrees C and remained above freezing both during the descent and up to the ground.
Yeah,
but he doesn't really specifically mention at altitude.
Ah, good point. Okay.
And also that if he's reading that 3 degrees C on the total air temperature gauge, because the diamonds, a lot of those diamonds come with a Garmin G1000 system, so it actually has a glass screen and gets a lot of data from multiple sensors. So it has a TAT temperature, that number can be warmer than the actual temperature outside, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because of skin friction, yeah? So, indeed, we can measure the temperature in sophisticated aircraft in various ways, and we get readouts. But I was trying to think that, if he had... and so much of this also depends on the cross-section of the aerofoil of the wing on his aircraft. Because, for example, the A340 had a supercritical wing, which means it's got basically not a curved upper surface so much as nearly flat. And the lift is gained from having a reflex curve on the lower surface. So you don't get the usual huge low pressure region on top of the wing, where you see where you get a lot of the lift from, and it's a very efficient wing for cruising. Of course, you need lots of flaps and slats and things to create a curve for the wing to produce the lift to allow you to slow down to land. But that's the kind of deal with that. Whenever you see condensation coming around a wing or around an aircraft, that's an indication that the temperature locally is being reduced by the reduction in pressure. And that, because the temperature is being reduced, obviously it will get colder, but it's not usual to get it below zero. And the other thing I was thinking about was I thought this, I must have misread him. I thought some of his ice had happened at altitude. So I was trying to think,
what I thought too, but yeah.
How do you get ice crystals to adhere to a wing when you're at altitude and the wing's belting past at several hundred miles an hour? It doesn't work like that. So I was a bit confused. But apparently it was just water he put on the wing after landing.
Yeah, because of the cleaning water. So nothing of cleaning water. Where did the cleaning water come from?
It's just like you use on your windshield. You push that little lever and it sprays.
It's the cleaning water button.
The little squeegees come out.
So
those diamonds say they have everything.
Unless you cold soak the wing at altitude, and again for it to occur on the top of the wing, because normally when you got a wing with an integral fuel tank, if you cold soak that fuel, you're going to get ice on the bottom of the wing, which was part of the reason I went to that video. Not on the top of the wing. The top of the wing has usually got an air gap between it and the fuel, so it doesn't get particularly cold. It's insulated from the cold fuel. So I'm confused and I don't understand.
My only thoughts go back to the thermal properties of composites versus metal aluminum wings like you have on most of the airliners. So that, the fuel cold soaking being a separate issue, could the wing itself have cold soaked and cause that water to freeze once he put direct water on it? I don't know.
I don't know if he was going, I don't know. I'd love to have known what temperature he was flying around in at altitude. Go on then, Jeff.
Speaking of the top of the wing, what AJ just mentioned there, Stefan adds, he says, okay, one more thing. So I guess he's trying to be like, what was the Apple CEO's name?
Steve Jobs.
Yeah, Steve Jobs. So Stefan, I think, is trying to be Steve Jobs. He says, okay, one more thing. Ice on a cold-soaked A380 wing into the descent. Ice is hanging on a structural part of the upper side during flight. A new one to me. And I'm sure you're showing the picture right now. I'm not looking at it. He said...
I think that's bird poo.
So you see that very... Well, it could be.
No, the other spot, Nick, the other spot.
Oh, okay.
I asked a former... This is Stefan.
Actually, that's an iced tea.
Yeah, it's iced tea. That's right. Boom. Yeah. Okay, you got it. I asked a former Boeing 737, now A320, about that topic. Maybe pilot, yeah. Knowing that the 737NG had an issue with cold-soaked wing icing. His answer on the NG, the issue is more that the tanks in the wing are significantly smaller than on the Classic. As a result, cold fuel would still reach the upper wing surface and cause cold-soaked fuel frost. Boeing addressed this by explicitly allowing it. We allow it.
What?
You have a problem? It is no longer a problem.
They gave it their blessing.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The A320, on the other hand, tends to have a structural issue. Above the landing gear, an metallic T-shaped ice formation often develops on the upper wing surface. We call it iced tea.
We've already used that joke. Sorry.
Yeah,
too late.
Can't have that joke twice. Sorry.
Oh, well. And I'm not going to edit any of this. So just even at positive temperatures. A 30-minute turnaround is often not enough time for that. On long-haul operations, you usually have more time. He said the sentence, Boeing solved it by allowing it, is just too good.
This is not a problem. It's a design feature.
That's right.
I love it.
Didn't you want just that little bit of ice there?
Yeah.
Do you get any icing in your little parachuting hops, Steph?
No. Usually we're flying on very nice VFR days.
It's apparently I've heard it's frowned upon to push people out into clouds.
Yes. Specifically, the FAA frowns upon it.
Into thunderstorms?
Yeah.
Although some of your jumpers don't seem that would be a problem, right?
I mean, as long as there's a small patch of blue, they think our aircraft is actually a vertical device, like a helicopter, that can get magically into that space without having to negotiate any of those cloud formations. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yes, ma'am. Okay, let's finish off. Since we're talking about GA, we're going to stop or end the show with this from Davis Built. Davis Built. Oh, that's a cool name. He did build something. I Fly to Lunch, a new resource for the pilot-to-pilot community. Hello, Captain Jeff. I'm a private pilot and a new listener of the podcast. I'm reaching out because I've spent the last several months building I Fly to Lunch, a web-based tool designed specifically to help our community find the best airport restaurants, air shows, fly-ins, and services, the lifeblood of the, quote, all-important $100 hamburger run. I built this for pilots by pilots. It's an open source platform, meaning users can contribute their own findings and maintain a sense of ownership over the data we all rely on. I'd love to give you free VIP access to the site to check it out for yourself. If you think your audience would find value in a tool like this, I'd welcome the opportunity to jump on the podcast to discuss the app's mission and how we're working to keep the GA fly-in culture thriving. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Blue Skies, Davis Built, EAA number 1407119. So we have our two GA pilots with us here today. What do you guys think of I Fly to Lunch? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we'll give them that.
I'd be willing to give it a look. That's one of my favorite things is going to fly for $100 hamburger.
All right.
Sadly, I don't do it very much these days, but wouldn't rule it out in the future for sure.
Okay. Well, I'll contact David and see if we can get a couple of VIP access.
I don't know if David will help you, but Davis might be able to help.
Or Davis, I'm sorry. I knew that's what I was going back to the feedback to make sure I got his name correct, and of course I did not.
See, Davis, I got your back.
Yeah. So I'm sure I'll be able.
Yeah, I love it, and I love making stuff like that digital because sometimes it's hard to find that information in conventional forms, and it changes.
That's the tough part about that exact industry is that everything changes so fast. There's been other previous websites and lists that were kind of crowdsourced that they worked for a very short time until everything starts changing and it kind of goes by the wayside. So if this is something that he's come up with that's going to be able to keep up with it, I think that'd be fantastic.
It sounds like it has a better chance of keeping up to date with the users being able to update the information as opposed to just like one person or a handful. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, let's wrap it up by pointing you to our website, airlinepilotguy.com, where you'll find information about the crew and the community and the crew calendar, or community calendar, that is, and the library. Miss Tiffany, our librarian, manages that for us. We also have a special page for the Plane Tales, the Old Pilot's Plane Tales, and you can learn how you can subscribe to that as a separate podcast if you'd like. What else do we have there? We have merchandise, and we have, I don't know, I think that pretty much covers it all. You can get to our YouTube, our live YouTube recording from there as well, APG on YouTube. All right, and we are also on social media and what I like to call social meds.
Yeah, we can still call them the social meds. I'm on board.
Thank you.
Yeah. So a couple of social media sites that you can check us out on. We're on Facebook. That's facebook.com/airlinepilotguy. Over on X, we are at APG Crew. Use that same handle over on Instagram, instagram.com/APG Crew, and you'll find Captain Nick's weekly show artwork there. And Jeff already mentioned using the website to find the link to YouTube to watch the live recordings, but you can also just head over to YouTube itself, youtube.com/airlinepilotguy. And as always, hopefully, Hillel is ready to tell us about Slack.
I think he is. Well, he's having fun, obviously. Hey, could you tell us about Slack?
Okay, but I'm dripping wet.
That's okay. Come on over here and tell us all about it, sir.
APG listeners, please join us on our Slack team. Slack is a communication, coordination, and sharing platform that works on your mobile, laptop, or browser. On Slack, we share news and ideas. We suggest episode and Plane Tales topics. We plan events and meetups. To get into the Slack team, please email me at slack@airlinepilotguy.com. That's SLACK, Sierra Lima Alpha Charlie Kilo @airlinepilotguy.com. Or send me a tweet with your preferred email address to @Hillel, and I'll send you an invitation. That's Hillel, spelled Hotel India 11 Echo 1, and see you in Slack.
Thanks a lot, Hillel.
Oh yeah, Delta P.
Okay. I'm supposed to ring the bell when he says Delta P. There we go. Also, we'd like to thank our producer, Liz, doing all that work before the show, well before the show, during the show, and after. Thank you so much for your hard work, man.
You're very welcome.
All right.
The day of the LaGuardia incident, Captain Nick and I were up super early, and we were talking all about it.
I know.
Yeah, I know you all know.
Yes, I know.
There's a do not disturb function.
I had
Android
by the time I finally, so that morning was the morning I woke up with all the pollen issues, and I was not looking at my phone. And then at some point, I realized I had 75 messages from you guys, and I went, I wonder what's going on.
What's happening?
Yeah.
I knew something was going on because not only did I see all the messages in our private APG crew communications on WhatsApp, but also I had a text message from somebody from CNN wanting me to be on the CNN slot in the early morning to talk about the LaGuardia crash. And I went, what LaGuardia crash? Yeah.
Oh, I got a message from some Canadian outfit that wanted me to talk about a plane tale where, remember the Japanese captain that admitted he effed up when he crashed his 707? She wanted to draw a parallel between that and the air traffic controller, but she never got back to me. So.
Jeff talked to a Canadian.
Well, I ended up talking to that person actually.
Verity.
Captain Nick.
Verity
Verity,
Stevenson.
yes,
Verity,
that's right.
yeah.
Verity Stevenson.
Good job.
So,
Well done.
Yeah. And
You stole my slot.
I did. I said, "What did you think
That's why she
about my
never called
plane
you
tail?"
back.
I thought I did a really good job on that plane tail. What did you think?
He took all the credits.
No, I did not. I did not. I did reference it, but it wasn't an audio video kind of thing. It was an article that she was writing.
She was writing, yeah.
And she wanted to hear some thoughts.
She wanted to pick your brains.
Yeah. So
she would have had hard work.
Anyway, so there you go. A little bit of the inside baseball on the APG. All right. And we'd also like to thank our wonderful live audience, our live chatters. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen there. It's always great to have you there with us.
Always great.
Join us.
And also, well, I guess that's about it, right? So
Yep.
thanks for everybody listening and watching and telling all your friends about the show. And with that, we're going to say wishing you clear skies, unlimited visibility, and tailwinds. Take care and God bless.
Cheers, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
You're welcome.
See you next time. There we go.
Okay. We have to do that again because we didn't screw it up.
Yeah.
I know. What's wrong? Something
was
bad's going to happen.
Perfect.
Almost.
Almost.
We don't want it perfect.
All right. Well, we didn't have a
show
lot of
titles.
material for titles, really, because it's kind of serious stuff we were talking about. But anyway.
It might
what
just
I
call for
had-
a serious
What I have is
show title.
Landing Fantasy. That was Captain Nick's Landing Fantasy. Like they're going to change the landing procedures. So he can just fantasize about that artwork. And then this is one, thank you for My Haul Boxes. We were talking about the balloon there. He said, was that from Paddle Your Own Canoe? So I made it Paddle Your Own Kayak. Paddle Your Own Kayak.
Oh, very good.
Okay.
It's like a smoked pollen.
Yeah.
Would be
Smoked pollen.
That's Southern
Smoked
delicacy.
pollen. Oh, that's a good one.
And then iced tea. Iced tea.
That's
can have some iced
two
tea
very
with your
southern
smoked
things
pollen.
there. Smoked pollen and iced tea.
And then
That could be the whole title.
Sweet tea.
Smoked pollen and iced tea.
Oh, there's a variation on it. Paddle your own balloon. Paddle your own balloon.
Paddle your own balloon.
Could just hand him the paddle after he landed in the water.
And then fly in for lunch. So you're going to fly, the app that Davis made there, fly in for lunch or fly in for lunch or something like that. Anybody else?
I see. Like instead of flying for money, flying for lunch.
Flying for lunch, I think, yeah.
Oh, I think
We'll
you meant
fly
having
for
a
food.
fly in your lunch.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what I thought at first.
No, that's not what I thought of, but yeah, no.
Yeah,
no,
for
I was talking about
certain
flying.
planets.
Anybody else got anything? That's about it for me.
Got nothing.
Got nothing. Can you work with any of that, Captain Nick?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm sure.
Well,
he'll
you
come
know
up with
what?
something
Just do the
very
fantasy
clever.
thing and do anything, and you can just say it's your fantasy, and it doesn't matter really.
You do not want to see pictures of my fantasy.
I was going to say, that sounds like a risky...
Yeah, no.
Well, it was really great being on the last episode of the Airline Podcast.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, IHAL Boxes likes the pollen and tea. Pollen and tea.
Yeah, smoked pollen.
Smoked
and iced
pollen
tea.
and iced tea. Pollen, yeah, smoked pollen and
Smoked
iced tea.
pollen.
Well,
and iced tea.
I could combine an airport restaurant with a fly on a hamburger and on the side smoked pollen, and he's drinking an
menu.
iced tea. How's that?
I love
Wow.
it.
Lots of elements
There
all
you
put
go.
together.
Wow.
Tie it all together.
Sounds fabulous, Captain.
Love it.
Fabulous.
And you could have the penguins be like the dogs playing poker around the table eating their lunch.
Oh, my God. You don't want much, do you?
That's the kind of thing I say, and he says the same thing. Well, you don't want much, do you?
And then he does it.
Then he does it. Then
He is
plays
a,
it.
he is a
And it
victim of his own
exceeds
success.
Exceeds all
I think the
expectations.
burger will be a penguin burger.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
Oh,
That took a dark
Brown
turn.
definitely not
penguin.
seen. Maybe that's why we didn't see it in the last piece of art.
And there's a
Yeah,
balloon.
yeah,
there's
the-
a balloon landing on the kayak in the lake.
Balloon crashing through the window of the restaurant.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah.
Peter.
With a kayak stuck in the bottom of it.
Yeah, with
Dragging the kayak along.
A kayaker hanging on to for grim death.
Instead of like a little basket underneath, it's a kayak underneath. Underneath. the balloon.
No, I
Kayak
like the
balloon.
idea of the kayaker hanging on, dangling beneath the basket.
Love
with the
it.
paddle that he's not using.
Yeah, the paddle for his own kayak, quite right, yes.
I don't think you have any room to complain about complicated pictures. If you'll remember the Where's Waldo with all the penguins.
Yeah,
You pulled that off
USDA
with no
Prime
problem.
Penguin.
USDA Prime Penguin.
Very true.
Oh. All right, everybody. Thanks for being with us for 701. We'll be back
we
for
do appreciate it.
702. Bye.
We'll see you next week.
See you next
704
week.
can be the Charlotte show.
Bye.
Oh.
It's our,
We have to wait till
it's our area
770
code.
to get back